lesson 10.1.2. Pretty cool lesson. We're going to go ahead and complete the square for equations of circles. I know that we did some completing the square in chapter 9. Hopefully we pick that up, as we are going to need that skill for this. So in the last lesson, you applied the Pythagorean theorem to write the equation of a circle in graphing form given its center and radius. In this lesson, you will use the technique of completing the square to rewrite the equation of a circle from general form to graphing form. So there's a graphing form of a circle. Like parabolas, equations of circles can be written in more than one form. So the graphing form is going to be the one that we've really dealt with the most. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Hopefully we know that the h and k are the center of the circle and that the r is going to be the radius of the circle. So it says now rewrite, okay, so we're going to write the equation of this circle that we see here. So our center is 3, 1, so I will say it is x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared, and it looks like we have a radius of 5, so we'll say it's equal to 5 squared. Now it says rewrite the equation of a circle from part A in general form. So we have the general form of a circle here, kind of the standard form as it were. So I'll make myself some room here and get to work on this. So we have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared is going to be equal to 5 squared. Well, I'm just going to make an area model for this x minus 3. And I'll make an area model for this y minus 1. And we're going to see here that it's obviously just equal to 25, right? 5 squared. So here I get x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9. Plus, here I get y squared minus y plus 1. So when I combine these things, I'm going to get x squared minus 6x plus 9 plus y squared minus 2y plus 1 is equal to 25. Well, obviously I can combine these numbers. So I'm going to get x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 10 is equal to 25. I'll subtract that 25, and I ran out of room, so I will write it over here. Actually, I'll go ahead and write it up here. X squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y minus 15 is going to equal 0. And again, just like with the parabola, the important thing to remember is that these are the same circles. Obviously, this one is much easier to graph than, I shouldn't say that. They are the same circles. So when it's in this form, it's much easier to graph than when it's in this form. The question is, if we're given one that's in this form, in this general form, how do we put it back into this form? And what we're going to do is complete the square. Just to show you a little bit about what this would look like completing the square, we're given x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 2y equals 11. Did I do some bad math there? I don't know. I think it's just a totally different... Oh yeah, okay. This is just a totally different problem than this one. I was kind of confused thinking I had that 11 instead of a 15, and I was confused why, but it's just a totally different question completely. So if we go over here, you can see... And I can't write on this, but this is x squared plus 4x. Here's y squared plus 2y, and it's equal to 11. So just to confirm that, we have x squared plus 4x, y squared plus 2y, and it's equal to 11. So I've already taken the liberty of starting to complete these squares here. But the question is, if I actually want to complete the square, what do I need to do? Well, I need to add 1, 2, 3, 4 to this side to complete the square, but if I add 4 here, I better add 4 as well because they're equal. So I'll go over here and I'll add 4 as well. And over here, I need 1 to complete the square. And again, if I'm going to complete that square, I need to add 1 over here as well. So you can see that this is going to be x plus 2 squared, right? Again, I can't write on this, it won't show up, but x plus 2 squared y plus 1 squared equals 4 squared. So that's what that's going to look like. So if we go over here and And I think what might make it easier is it just to make another white square to solve this. So I have x squared. I'm going to change the order around. I'm going to say plus 4x plus y squared plus 2y is equal to 11. And again, this is what we just did with the algebra tiles over on this. I just want you to see what this looks like mathematically. So I know that I'm going to take half of b squared. Half of b squared is going to be the perfect number here, right? There's my x squared, there's my 2x, there's my 2x, x plus 2, x plus 2. I need to add 4 to complete the square. But if I add 4 over here, I need to add 4 over here. And likewise, if I go to this one, I have my y squared, y and y, right? So there's my y plus 1 and my y plus 1. You can see that I need a 1 to complete the square. But if I add a 1 here, I need to add a 1 here. Now I can rewrite this. Instead of x squared plus 4x plus 4, I can rewrite it as x plus 2 squared. And instead of y squared plus 2y plus 1, I can rewrite it as y plus 1 squared. And that's going to equal 11, 15, 16. Now again, if I want the radius, it's fine as 16, but if I want the radius, it would probably make more sense to get the square root of that. And the square root of 16 is, of course, 4. So that's how I can rewrite that one right there. I'm going to go ahead and get a clean one of these to keep going. So on to oh wait, I guess we just did all this. I kind of combined this question with 1015. I got a little bit ahead of myself there. I apologize. So we did 1015 A, B, C, and D just now. All of it up here. You can kind of read through with your team, figure out how to arrange the tiles. Remember, we put the X's together and the Y's together. We added how many we needed to complete that square. So again, I had an X square here, and I had 2 X's here, and I had 2 X's here, and I had this Y squared. Right, that took care of the X squared and the 4 X's. And then I had the Y squared with a Y here. That took care of all these. And I said, all right, well, I need to add 4 here to complete this, so I better add 4 here. And then I need to add 1 here, so I better add 1 here. And there you go. I'm left with x plus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared. And that's going to equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Or like we said, x plus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 4 squared. Either one is fine. So my center is -2, -1, and my radius is going to be 4. And that's going to be the circle. All right, so let's rewrite 1016. And again, I don't have algebra tiles, but I think I'm going to do the same thing I just did. By the way, we're not going to do 1017 anyway. That's one of the problems that we skip. So let's go ahead and do 1016 and pretend like we did have algebra tiles. So the first thing I do is I would say I'm going to put the x squared minus the 4x together. I'm going to put the y squared, this is plus, y squared plus 6y together. And then I'm going to add these 3 over and just get them out of the way. So it would look something like this. I would have my x squared here. And if I have minus 4x, well, here's a minus x, here's a minus x. And again, I have to be squares, so it has to work out evenly. There's a minus x and there's a minus x. Here I have my y squared plus 6y, so I'll take my y squared. And again, I have 6y here, so you can see how good my algebra tiles look. They look amazing. So there's my 6y. I'm going to add these together. Don't forget these x's are negative. And it's going to equal 3. Well, now to finish this up, I need to add 4 here to complete this. So if I add 4 here, I'm going to add 4 here. And on this one, I need to add 9. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if I add 9, I need to add 9. I'll put that one there to even it up. So if I want to write this now, this one's maybe a little bit tricky. This is x minus 2. Right? These are negatives. X squared minus 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Here, I have y plus 3. Y squared, 3y, 3y, and 9. So if I want to rewrite this, I get x minus 2 squared plus y plus 3 squared is going to equal 4, 8, 12, 16. Again, you can call this 16 or you can call it 4 squared. I know my radius is going to be 4, or I can call it 16. So the center of the circle is going to be 2, negative 3, and my radius is going to equal 4. So, you know, just a real ugly sketch of this would look something like, I'm going to go to 2, negative 3, and I'm going to go up 4, right 4, left 4, and down 4, and just sort of connect the circle. Well, let me connect it across the page, but you get the idea.